I don't know who needs to hear this, but whoever you are, you need to know that you don't have to be fucking miserable so often. Thoughts are the horses that pull the cart of the mind. You might want to start paying attention to your grip on the reins of choice. Are you a controller and your grip is frantically tight, yanking the thought horses hither and thither, avoiding imagined dangers out of fear, or is your grip too loose? And you find yourself lollygagging and lamenting and shit whilst the horses gallop wherever the fuck they want until they crash into the ditch you currently think you're stuck in. It's actually so fucking simple. Think different thoughts and transform your experience of life. It feels hard because it takes a whole lot of licks to get to the center of your wrinkly pink Tootsie Pop. Talking about your brain, not a dick. Quit being fucking gross. Try this. Take a minute and catalog all the shitty thoughts you tend to have in the course of a day or week or whatever, and what they're about. Look at them all. Don't let any of them hide. Then catalog all the positive thoughts you have in the course of a day or week or whatever the fuck, because you're going to distill those into one general motivation. Think about how those shitty thoughts make you feel and decide if you want to feel shitty or not. Then contemplate how the good thoughts make you feel and determine the primary feeling that you most want to feel. That's key. How do you want to feel as a baseline? With your baseline in mind, approach a situation. Does the situation make you feel shitty? If so, identify and overwrite the shit thoughts with positive ones that are more in line with your goal. What you think about a thing is a choice. The positive and negative thoughts you think about a thing are equally non-existent. If you don't think so, then try to locate a thought within the framework of reality. A deep contemplation will reveal that they don't actually exist outside of the thought plane. Then try to locate the fucking thought plane. Thoughts are ghosts in the haunted house of the mind, and you, actual fucking you, are the exorcist. But if you choose to insist or need to believe that thoughts are things and that they exist, that's perfectly fine. I'm not the fucking boss of your thoughts. But if you realize thoughts, as in you make them real, then also try to realize that both positive and negative thoughts are equally real, and you can equally choose which ones to deploy. So instead of feeling like shit from temporary electrical events that come and go within your wrinkly pink meat computer, change those thoughts by aiming them towards the North Star of how you do want to feel, whilst navigating through each moment in life. This is not about suppression of thoughts, it's about transformation of thought patterns. Every single moment, every fucking challenge, each thought you think is a teacher, if you let it be. You might be thinking that all this shit is easier said than done, but curiously enough, it's actually easier done than said. In other words, it's so damn simple and so fundamental that we don't even realize that we can change our thoughts because the self-evident ability is obscured by thoughts that compel us to think that they can't be changed. I'm talking about neural pathways. Thoughts really want to be thunked, but guess what? You're not your fucking thoughts. Unless, of course, you think you are by letting the thought horses chase their own tails while shitting all over your mind. How much horse shit do you have in your mind? If you want to grease the wheels of this process of changing your experience of life for the better, then try to meditate upon and or observe the nature of your thoughts. If you can begin to observe the shit going down in the thought plane, then you will begin to understand your motivations and the genesis of why you think those shitty thoughts. Thoughts can be transcended through awareness. Forgive yourself for thinking thoughts that make you feel shitty. Forgive yourself for being a normal fucking human, because that default way of experiencing life is unfortunately far too often how we do. Remember that you are sitting on the wakeful but empty cart of the mind, and from there, you can finally steer the thought horses towards your North Star. It really is that simple. Don't try it, do it. The more aware you become, the less your unconscious reactions will prevent you from being able to manipulate the reins of choice in any given situation. Becoming aware doesn't mean you don't feel shit or that you never get pissed off or upset. It just gives you enough distance between actual you and your thoughts so that actual you can wake the fuck up to the perpetual truth that you are the cart driver and thoughts are the horses there to do your bidding. Distill how you want to feel into your prime motivator, then aim your thoughts at that in each situation. Example, if you want to punch a motherfucker in the throat and you aim at their throat, then your mind will spend some of its calculating on stopping your hand at their throat in anticipation of withdrawing your hand, and your punch will lose some of its forward momentum and steam because it's already preparing to withdraw itself before you even punched. What you want to do is aim at and punch towards the empty space at the back of said motherfucker's neck to ensure that the energy of your blow will be entirely spent on damaging the throat and incapacitating your foe. No, I'm not saying go punch motherfuckers, don't be a dumbass. I'm saying don't get stuck in the minutia of any situation. Don't pull your mental punch and just stay at the surface of a thing, allowing it a chance to then punch you back. Place your prime motivator on the backside of the situation and aim at that. Carefully, thoughtfully, with awareness, wade through the situation with appropriate thoughts to reach that feeling that you are cultivating within your experience of existence. So find your North Star. Is it to feel safe? Is it to feel good about yourself in regards to your self-esteem? Is it to simply be happy? You do deserve all these things, despite what those mental events called thoughts might be telling you. Don't be afraid to do the work and figure your shit the fuck out. Every discovery in the thought plane makes you more aware and plants your ass more firmly on the wakeful but empty cart of the mind, so that you can stop letting the thought horses drag you through hell and, people's yards and shit, and there you are racing around, out of control, blinded by the clothesline underwear of other people's opinions plastered to your face. Or are you being overly controlling of a perceived situation and are constantly yanking the reins, violently zigging and zagging because the North Star of fear that you're aiming at moves around wildly? Take authority of your own experience of your life and give yourself permission to change your mind by changing your thoughts. Seriously, it's entirely doable and is totally up to you. You got this, boo. Toodaloo.